Welcome, everyone, back again to our Secure Dental podcast, where we bring in many different talent from the dental industry as well as from outside. And today we have a great treat here for you guys. I have a special person, Dr. Dan Kopeliovich. I hope I said it right.
Exactly the right way.
Yeah, there you go. And Dr. Dan is from Israel, Tel Aviv. He is an oral maxillofacial surgeon and founder of WiseImplant. Now, before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, DentVia. DentVia is a virtual dental administration company that supports our front desk, our managers, all the back-end tasks, such as insurance calling, verification, call leads, etc., to help supercharge our front desk in our dental offices. So visit them at www.dentvia.com. Again, it's www.dentvia.com. Now, let's get to the show. Dr. Dan, tell us a little bit about how you got started and give us a little bit background about what you did in Israel.
First of all, hi, Noel. I'm really excited to be here. And I feel like a 16-year-old before a new date. I have all the flight and fight symptoms, dry mouth and stuff. So I'm really excited and happy to be here. It's really exciting. So I can start, essentially after completing my high school in Israel, the course of life is a bit different. I did my military service. I was an officer in a combat unit, and then I went to find myself in South America for around a year. So essentially, around 22, 23, I decided to start learning something. But there was a problem. I wasn't a good pupil in high school. So my grades were, how to say it, not the best in the class, more of the less than average. But we have really good courses in Israel that pre-academic in the university itself. And I went to one of these programs and I finished it for 1 year. And this way I managed to enter the dental medicine faculty. And I finished it in Hadassah in Jerusalem, Israel, in the Hebrew University. And then, I won't lie, I didn't connect to the general practitioner or the general dentist work. It was really hard for me. I know something with my maybe perfectionism, or I don't know, something didn't work out, like trying to do a crown for 20 meters or something. It was awful. And I was thinking to myself, I'm trying to be short, but it's a long story. Right. I was thinking to myself, okay, what am I doing? I'm doing with my life. I'm already almost 30. I don't know if I want this career in dentistry. And I knew that I like endo and surgery. And essentially, after I told myself, okay, take a year, work in dentistry, and then decide if you quit and go find another career, or if you go on this route and everything will be okay. And
so how old were you? Well, you were 30 at that time.
I was already 30. Oh. No, in America, it's already like a really old person for
no. So,
but
okay, love it.
Essentially, I said to myself, okay, give it a chance for 1 year. And I worked in this year and say, okay, no way. There is no chance. I'm all going to different career. I don't know, medicine, maybe different stuff in computers, because I'm always liked computers as well. And essentially what happened is that I got accepted to a residency, maxillofacial residency. I tried to get to different residencies, and then I got to a residency in Ashkelon. It's a place led by then Professor Nachlieli. He was a pioneer in salivary gland endoscopy.
Okay.
He has a brand name in this area. Yeah. So I went to be a resident.
What's his name again? What's his name again?
Oded Nachlieli.
Not clearly. Okay.
Yeah, he's a brand name in this area of endoscopy of salivary glands. And I started
Gotcha.
residency there. And you know, Noel, as soon as I started the residency, suddenly like the sun struck me, and I was so happy. You know, I'm doing surgery.
Really?
I'm seeing the patient. I have connections. Although it's really hard work, you know, with the shifts and the stress and the surgery, I liked it. I got really immediate satisfaction from the from the
The
profession,
surgery,
and I
right?
knew I'm in
Oh,
the right place. And in Israel, the residency is a bit different. It's 5 years, not 4 like in the US, and you don't get the medical degree. And I knew immediately that I want to go to a fellowship, and this is the reason why I pursued for medical degree as well after the residency. So think of it. I'm already like after residency, and I'm going to be a student of medical degree. And it was very awkward with the people, but I had fun with this. The only problem was that I had to already to bring salary to my family and, you know, feed my kids. And so I had to also
right.
be a student in the morning and in the afternoon, and the night shifts as a maxillofacial surgeon. So it was a very challenging era, but I managed to finish it. You know, I'm not a spoiled guy. I'm doing everything the hard way. And a little pause. I hope the audience understands me with the accent and my English, but
No. You're doing great. You're doing great. I just want to get a little timeline from you. So you finished dental school at how old were you at that time when you finished your dentist?
I finished my
your
dental
general
school
dentistry?
at 30, around 30, and then I finished.
And then you went to residency.
And then I worked for 1 year, and then I started a residency for 5 years, and then
Okay.
I'm trying to cut stuff in the middle, yeah, like different stories that happened, but I don't.
No, that's good.
Yeah, essentially, I finished the residency in 35, and then I started medical school. It's around 4 years. In Israel, you have also
wow.
an internship in the hospital, so it's like 3 years of studying and then another year of internship. And this is the shortest program for maxillofacial specialists. So I finished this program, and then I tried to pursue a fellowship in the United States. I did a couple of mistakes. I don't know if I should tell them, but I rejected a very generous offer that would maybe, make my life much easier.
Right.
But I rejected from a really good maxillofacial program to be like to come and do a third and fourth year, a senior and chief year.
Oh.
And I was stupid, you know. I was a bit tired from the studying, and I wasn't prepared to start immediately, and they wanted somebody immediately. So then I tried to find a real fellowship program, and I found this program in Baltimore, University of Maryland. Had the neck surgery, really hard program. I knew it's hard on every aspect, but I didn't know how hard it will be. Yeah, definitely one of the hardest things I did in my life. Not because the surgeries or the hard work that was expected from me, but it was harder because of the toxic work environment that I was there. So I really suffered, but
lots of politics.
Yeah,
like,
it was really, really, really toxic for me as a person. Because there was I don't want to go into it, but it was.
No, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
It was like quite a trauma, because I was like a bit in captivity, because I moved all my family to the US, and I didn't want.
Oh.
Yeah. So we were with. I'm very lucky to have a wife and 3 kids. And my wife also, I'm really lucky that she accepts all these crazy stuff to do relocation, first relocation, and then soon I will tell about the second relocation. So what happened is that I was a bit in captivity because I couldn't quit to go because I knew that I need to transfer my kids back to Israel again in the middle of the year, and I didn't want to do that. So I said, okay, I'm never giving up. No, I'll do whatever it takes, but I'm not giving up. I didn't give up. I finished this year, and we, I don't know, like divorced from the fellowship.
From the school?
Yeah, so I finished 1 year.
Yeah.
It can be 1 or 2 year program. I finished 1 year. And then I started a bit of a rehabilitation program for myself. I was sitting in Washington, D.C., where I lived with my family, and thinking, what should I do next? Then I started my startup, WiseImplant. And
Okay.
this is the places I really decided that I want to pursue as part of my rehabilitation program from the hard year I had. Yeah.
So I want to know something, right? What was one learning thing that you had from that experience at that university? So that university, you were like, you said it's toxic. Was it because you were burnt out? Was it because you did not really fit into the culture? Was it the people there? They had like different school of thought. Like, what was the thing that you felt?
I will tell you, I knew I'm going to a toxic environment before because I talked with the other. I talked with the previous fellows, but what happened? I said, I'm a nice guy, so I never had a place that people didn't like me. I never encountered it. And suddenly, on the first or second week, I understand that I won't be specific about what were the problems. But I understand somebody doesn't like me in the first week. In the second week, I understand he really don't like me. And on the third or about a month later, I said, okay, I think hates me. And then I said to myself, okay, but as I mentioned before, I had to finish the year, so
you stuck it out.
I stuck it out.
That's the biggest thing that matters.
And it was
like trying to stay consistent.
It was physically very tough physically. Because I lived in Washington D.C. and I was doing the commute every day at 5 a.m. to Baltimore. But I knew that for me, I don't mind to suffer, but I wanted my family to have a really good environment and very friendly school and environment. So I knew there is an Israeli community in Rockville in Maryland, and so I put my family there. This is what my house, and I was commuting. So also all the surgeries, the 12 hours, 14 hour surgeries, all the stress, all the stuff together, and I was also commuting. It was a heck of a year. So yeah, I'm glad.
No, absolutely. I can totally imagine.
Me. But as I mentioned,
you left Israel, you left home, you relocated yourself, you relocate your family in a new country, in a new place. I mean, that's relentless, man.
Yeah,
that's
it was really relentless. And I'm not a very verbal guy. Just recently, like one of my kids was diagnosed with verbal dyspraxia. And when he was diagnosed, I said to myself, wait. Let's see the symptoms. How do you diagnose it? And then, I'm thinking myself, check. I have another check. I have another check. I have that. And then you figure out, okay, all your life, you have this difficulty with the conversation and the verbalism. And then you understand that you manage to overcome this also. So, on one hand, it's very, gives you energy. You can overcome everything, But on the other hand, it's hard, When I'm talking with you, I know I could talk much, like 100 times better if I didn't have it. Like, the problem with it is to find the right words. The drawing of the words is really, really, really hard for me. Yeah. But
you're doing great, my friend.
Yeah, I'm trying to overcome. Yeah. I'm trying to compensate with different stuff, So,
no, you're doing great, man. You're doing great. So right now, so you found WiseImplant, right? So WiseImplant, it's something where it's an implant company, and I know like for a fact that Israelis are really good with implants. Like most of the components that I've noticed.
I'll try to explain, because it's not a real implant company.
Yeah.
Essentially,
okay,
in like elevator pitch, WiseImplant is an platform for implantologists or oral surgeon that wants to make their success rate higher.
Okay.
It does so by our platform that is takes data from different sources, lots of data, analyze it with our AI algorithms, and produce you results, and it gives you. I will explain later, but it gives you essentially based on three different pillars, it gives you what you can change and how you can make your success rate in implants higher. So this is the idea underneath of WiseImplant, and it's only the beginning. So my vision is going really far away.
What I would like to know from you is, how did you come up with this idea of finding an implant company?
I think it's
what was the spark?
Okay, the spark was, I won't lie to you. After the residency, I started doing implants. Implants. Because this is the bread and butter for oral maxillofacial, to at least in Israel, to get the salary and make your life better. So suddenly, after a couple of months, I noticed, I get failed implants. But weird one, like a 46 implant, it's a lower molar, perfect bone. You can take a student blindless, and he can put the implant, and it should work. And suddenly I get cases that are the implants are loose. I take them out, and it wasn't so easy to see, but I didn't have Excel sheets and stuff that tells me, okay, you have a drop in your success rate. I had a feeling. I don't know how to analyze it. Is it 10%, 15%? It's very, very subtle. People don't like to discuss their failures. Everyone, I'm the best. 97.8 success rate. Everything is 99 success rate. Yeah, everything. Also, it's funny, in the head and neck surgery. So when they giving the presentation, we have 99% rate success rate. We have 90.
Right.
So I learned, when somebody tells you I have 95% rate, success rate and above, you should start thinking, okay, maybe there is some kind of bias, maybe there is some kind of analytical problem there. I don't believe it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how do you say what is a success rate? 5 years, 10 years? It's different. The literature has so many success rate different criteria. You get lost in it, So I'll go back to the story. So I have this drop in the success rate, very subtle, and I want to discuss with people, and usually people don't like to discuss, but after a couple of months, I found this in a convention. I found this periodontologist, and he said, I told him, I have a drop in my success rate. I had it for 2 months, and it disappeared, and it's really weird. And he said to me, I had the same thing. When it did happen, and then we saw it crossed in the same timeline. And then I asked him, what brand? And he said the same brand I was using. I'm saying, okay, what implant? And then we said, okay, this is interesting. It might be the implant. Now then I started doing some research, and the implant companies, they don't like to give you the data. They know. Usually they know, because they have the system that you give back the implant and get a new implant, right? But they don't give you the data. They don't advertise their room. We have a drop of 2.5% in success rate in this lot, and this lot is 5% less. No, they'll never do that. So this is the basis for my idea of doing a system that will give all the implantologists the data regarding the implants. But then it evolved, and I have a system that is based on 3 different pillars: the patient,
Okay.
the implant, and the surgeon. And it analyzes each pillar and gives you a lot of feedback for each pillar. For example, the main 2 pillars that we working with are the surgeon and the implant. The implant itself, if there is it can give you like a real-time analysis if there is a problem with any lot or in any model. For the surgeon, it can give you also alert. You know what? You have a problem in maxilla in women on the right side, and then surgeon can start and think, why do I have this problem in the right side of the maxilla? And then it can say, okay, maybe I'm pressing more. I'm drilling in the different protocols. So this system is essentially targeted to give conclusions and asking the question for each one of these pillars.
So, in terms of your WiseImplant, what stage is it in right now?
So we are fortunate enough to have we planned until the end of the quarter to have one design partner. Currently, we have 2 DSOs that we are in connection and in communication to start the process and to enter our system to the DSO. We are always open for others, and we're developing it to be also connected with DSO. We did a little bit of a change 6 months ago, and this is the reason we took a step back, because we decided to go only with DSOs.
Okay.
Yeah, at least in the beginning, until we have enough data. So we are now in the process of entering a stage with 1, 2, or 3 DSOs, and then we'll be ready to get more and more DSOs. And then in the end of the road, also clinics and private practices, of course. Of course, this is one of our goals. We are not an implant company. We are a company that, or a startup that analyzes the data.
Got you. Okay.
Analyzes all the data that we get from the different locations. We analyze all data, and you get you get all the data analyzed by our AI algorithms, and you get different maps. For example, me as a surgeon, I get my benchmark compared to other surgeons. Yeah, not, of course, everything is totally anonymized. Yeah, nothing, even the data that comes to our system is totally anonymized. But our system is a data system that analyzes the data and gives you insights, AI insights on all data, but not only your data. All surgeons that work with the system, and also different data from different sources.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, a lot of times you don't know why the implant failed, right? So that's a really, really great help. So are you working with any implant brand to give the data from?
No, we don't work with implant brands, and I'll explain you, because we don't want to have involvement of this medical industry in our company. Our company is based for doctors and patients to make their life better. We don't want money.
Got you.
We don't want money, and we don't want data from the implant industry.
Manufacturer.
No. It's
Yeah.
totally need to be
Good.
blocked because we want to be really not biased for the success rate and the quality of the implants. Imagine yourself that I'm proving in real life that an implant
Right.
that costs $400 has the same success rate as an implant that costs $100. So I don't
Right.
want connection with the industry. I want connection only with the doctors that are implantologists that put the implants, and that's it, with the patients, and make the patients' lives better, Like if you raise the success rate of implant, there is only in the US like 3 million implants a year annually. And you raise it by 1%, it's a crazy effect. And we can do that.
Right.
We are definitely there. And in my vision, in 3 years from now, a patient comes to your clinic and you ask him, okay, you do all the medical analysis, and he says to you, I'm a diabetic. I was smoking 7 years ago, 1 pack. And the system analyzes all the data from the patient and says to you, okay, for this patient in the maxilla, you need to take this implant with this drilling protocol, with this amount of newtons of insertion, and you need to wait this amount of time and use this amount of this kind of abutment and stuff. So I want the system to be tailored for the patient, for his higher success rate, especially for the complicated, all the diabetes and all the smokers and all the patients that has more failure rates. Yeah.
So hey doc, walk me through the process then. How does somebody start this process? Like if they say, hey, I want to see if I can get the data or if I want to tailor it to my needs, what would be the startup process to get involved?
So we are now in a phase that we are trying to work only with DSOs.
Right.
We are.
Let's say if there's a DSO that starts, right? What would be the process?
Yeah, so they can because I'm the founder CEO. They can contact me. We have also our website and or my LinkedIn or the company's LinkedIn, whatever.
Gotcha.
And we start, some kind of expectations, what the DSO wants to expect. We don't sell, everyone that in the industry now that it's not my first entrepreneurship, I'll tell you. But when I was beginning medical school, I developed an app for measuring CBCT files. So many countries don't have CBCT in office, especially like 10 years ago. They had CBCT in a specialized centers that you send the patient to a center, it takes the x-ray, and you get a report. Usually the report was a PDF file. So I developed an app that you take the PDF file and you can do the measurements, you can put the implants and stuff, and I developed it by myself. I didn't have too much time because I also was in medical school and always were working, but it was very, very popular in third world countries. Yeah. Israel, in Brazil, and different countries, and really a lot of people use it. So this is not the first time I'm developing something in technology. So I already have a understanding of this world, and the people are very good in marketing. So I'm not good in marketing. No, I'm saying that the real world. There is also shit in the real world, and I'm saying it in front, and so it's very important for me to speak with the DSO, to explain them the system, to see what's their expectations, and then if it's a match, we can go forward and put our platform under systems and see. And probably, I hope so. They will be very happy with this. I think data and analyzing the data is a key issue in our world today. And we also have a problem with too much data. And we can narrow the data. So exactly what you need. This is
No, that's great that you clarified,
at least
because I thought WiseImplant was a company, right? And so basically, you are basically just doing the data. So that is so awesome. I don't think anybody else is doing that.
I never really found a real competitor like doing the same.
Correct.
Niche.
I haven't heard of it.
No, I didn't find it. There is something, but it's a bit far, so it doesn't match to what we are planning and what we are doing. Yeah, definitely.
So right now, where are you based? Where are you at?
It's you're never gonna guess. No, you're never gonna guess. After I started working on WiseImplant, and essentially I wasn't working and developing, and then while being in Washington, I got a job offer, a really crazy place, and your audience won't guess it in the wrong word. So I will make it short. I got a job offer in Cancun.
Everybody knows.
I got a job offer in Cancun, in Mexico.
Love it.
It's like a high-end dental clinic that treats patients from all the world, mainly from the US and Canada. They are coming as a medical tourism, and I'm here at the maxillofacial to do the bigger surgeries, the bone grafts, all on 4, on 6, orthognatics and stuff like that. Yeah, and
so that's primarily what you do a lot now, right? In Cancun.
Yeah, and mainly I was tempted by the work-life balance here in Cancun. So
tell me a little bit about that. So, how's that going?
I don't want to speak out too much, not to curse my stuff, but I start work at 10 a.m. and I finish usually no later than 2-3. Yeah, and
wow.
and the environment is really, really nice. The founder of the clinic is great, and we are working together. And the team, there is a great team of a multidiscipline team with a periodontist, endodontist, and pedo, everything. And it's really, it's fun and great to work here. And also the fun stuff, you can be with your family, and there are beaches and attractions. I like it. So I'm really lucky that my wife is going with me on this crazy journeys,
right?
And relocations. Yeah.
Love it. Hey, listen, man, you went through a lot, right? You came from Israel, you went through that school, and it was brutal. And then you came out, and then you still been just like consistently hitting it hard. I think you deserve a little break, right? So I love it.
Thanks.
So tell me, what is your future? What is the future for you now? What's next? What's your next chapter?
I think because I have a really good work-life balance here in Mexico, I can have more time to invest in WiseImplant, and I really want this project to succeed. And this is my main goal to the next year or two, and then in the future, I don't know. We'll see. Now in Israel, it's a bit of a messy situation, and I hope everything will settle down. And I really hope that the hostages will come back home. 2 days ago, it was the 1 year of the war that began, and I really hope that we'll have a quieter time and that people will have quiet.
Yeah, some tranquility, some peace,
exactly,
right? Something like that along those lines. Absolutely. Do you still have family there?
Yeah, I have family there, and also all my wife's family there. Yeah, I'm planning to go visit her in December.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, you be safe out there. So, Hey, docs. Thank you so much for joining in. One last question I got for you. Since you are one of those relentless people that I know of, and there are very few in the world, by the way. What does success mean to you?
Wow, Noel, this is a really, really hard question. Wow, this is a
So, how would you define it in your terms?
first.
Let's put it
I want
that
to
way.
say it's a great question. I think this question has so many layers, so many layers.
Mm,
But sometimes you want to work in your little place and get your salary and be with your family and do your fun stuff whenever you have. I think for myself, I think the life journey, only the journey itself, it's if you are alive, you have to say thank you. And everything is every other thing is a bonus. If your kids are healthy and you're healthy and your family are healthy, it's a success. And
love it.
I think also it's kind of a graph. Sometimes you want to be more active, sometimes you want to be more passive, and everything is good. If you like where you are and you have good community,
Mm,
good friends, this is everything. Good family. I think this is the main pillars of life. So success
I
is
love
not
it.
being,
I love it.
one thing I will tell you, success is not
Yeah.
chasing um, publications and chasing gratitude from other people that will clap you and say, "Wow, you
Right.
are wonderful." I'm not. I'm not searching for. I'm searching to be full in my heart. Helping people also as much as I can, and being full with what you do. And I think we are very, very
Exactly.
lucky to be able to give,
Exactly.
like all people in medical profession, nurses, PTs, doctors, everyone, they can give from themselves to others. So I think it's
Love it.
already a success to be able to give to others.
That is such a powerful statement you just said, my friend.
Thanks. I hope it was
Uh,
understandable with my basic
yes.
English.
Yes. No, absolutely. Like what I always say is if you have the opportunity to give or you have the opportunity to help, that is an opportunity in itself. And I think that is what you just nailed it in the head. So I love it. And I love the fact too that, you have your family first because without family, you're nobody, right? I mean, your family is everything. And that is why you work so hard for. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
trying.
so
I'm
thank you
trying.
so
No,
much.
it's not easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for coming on my pod. And, this was such an amazing story that I got, you shared with us. So
Thanks.
I really appreciate it.
No, it was. People saying it was a pleasure, huh? But really, I was really afraid from the podcast. With my verbal stuff and stuff, I was really like nervous, and it essentially it was fun. You made it.
It's fun. It's fun.
No,
Yeah.
but I think you give some kind of environment of tranquility and don't worry, it will be okay. And I'm really thankful. I had a really good time.
Hey, same here. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Thank you so, so much for coming in.
Thanks. Thank you also I want to thank the listeners for listening. I hope it was interesting. And if you want, if you have any questions about WiseImplant, about my career or whatever, feel free to shoot me a message.
Absolutely. Any of you listeners, if you are looking for any kind of more information, feel free to DM Dr. Dan. I mean, he's on LinkedIn. Do you have an IG, Instagram?
I have something, but I don't think I have the.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll put up the link below. We'll put up the link. But the best way to reach Dr. Kopeliovich is through LinkedIn. And that is where you're going to find him. And also WiseImplant. And if you have any question, DM me. I can definitely get you in touch with him for sure. Other than that, make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to land the plane here. And thank you again so much for being on the pod.
Thank you.
And we'll go from there.
Thank you.